listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.
He's live. He's uncensored. And he's on the level.
He's Patrick Adam.
The Patrick Adam Show on Wavelength Radio.
For as long as I could remember, I'd always wanted to be a gangster. For as long as I could remember, I'd always wanted to be a gangster. For as long as I could remember, I'd always wanted to be a gangster. Holy shit, it's Pat Adam and I'm live tonight on Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures. Give us an email, coolwaveradio@gmail.com. Feel free to chime in anytime throughout this hour, 1-800-421-5308. Arizona, 602-288-6794. I'd like to thank the listeners tonight. Feel free to call at any time. I'd like to give a shout out to Cameron Cooper. That was a great hour, last hour with Cameron Cooper live, talking about some local stuff. He's giving a shout out to Brian McKenzie. These Songs, it's an album. Why don't you give him a Google? I like to Google shit myself. I Google shit all day at work because I don't work. You know what's nuts? And I'm gonna start off with this, then we're gonna go to a break because this really fucked me up this week. Excuse me. So Monday comes around, right? And I'm pretty jacked up. You know, it's Monday. I had Sunday off. I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to hang out. You know, do what I do. Maybe make some money. Am I going to make money? Am I going to not make money? Am I going to make money? Am I going to not make money? Am I going to make money? Am I going to not make money? That's pretty much how I feel from the hours of 7 a.m. when I get up to 6 when I finally actually leave work for the evening. And then I give my mind a rest, and then I start to obsess over that again. But it's funny because I went to the QuikTrip on Monday, like I go every day. And you know what? I love the QuikTrip. And my faithful listeners know how much I love the QuikTrip. Because I can walk into the QuikTrip at any time. I know exactly where everything is. I don't have to worry about anything. And it's stress-free, and it's great. Well, guess what? This Monday when I went to the QuikTrip, I walked in the door, I went to the left where the fucking newspapers were, and guess what? They didn't have a USA Today. Can you believe that shit? After all this fucking publicity I gave this fucking joint, alright, saying how much I love this place, I walk in there on Monday, and they don't have my fucking paper. All the shit I said about how there's 15 of them smiling at me and how I know where everything is and it's so fucking great. Well, you know what? When I walked in the door, those fuckers didn't say anything to me. Hey, how's it going? Nothing. In fact, I think when I walked in, they actually looked down on the floor. I walked up, I looked down, there were no USAs Today. I couldn't believe it. My heart like dropped in the pit of my stomach, like just went down a hill or up a hill, however it goes. You know the feeling, you know the sensation. Don't sit there and act like you don't know because you know. Don't sit there and act like you don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I look down. There's no USA Today. I look at the coffee bar. Filthy. It looked like a rat and a monkey took turns jacking off and shitting on where I pour my coffee. It was disgustingly filthy and nauseous. It made me want to puke. It was fucking ridiculous. So, no newspapers. I'm like, all right, I'll get my coffee. Well, at first I couldn't believe it. I was like, all right, they moved the newspapers. They put them somewhere else. So I looked around the corner by the chips. Nothing. Nada. So I'm getting my coffee and I'm pouring my coffee and I fill up with the Colombian Supremo, which is my favorite coffee. This shit gets me jacked up more than like a 3 espresso Starbucks. And I'm not even kidding you. I pay under $2 for this cup of coffee and I'm jacked up for like 3 hours. I love this coffee. They had the coffee, but I went to put in my half and half and they didn't have anything. 1-800-421-5308 if you're in Arizona, 602-288-6794. This is Live with Patrick Adam. Anyways, I went to put fucking half and half in my coffee, and there was no half and half. And I looked next to me, and there's this young Mexican gentleman. I think he was cleaning the coffee bar. And I'm like, you know what? They have to have fucking papers here. I should just ask this guy if they have papers. Because I need a paper. And I look over him, and I go, hey, man, you guys got any papers left? You know, like... He looks at me. Looks down. Where the papers are supposed to be, notices that there are no papers, and says, no, you got to be kidding me. So, here's the kicker. And I'm going to wrap this up real quick, and then we're going to go to a break. 1-800-421-5308, 602-288-6794 if you're in Arizona. I get in line with my coffee, right? Because I can go to another QuikTrip, but I'm feeling pretty bad about the situation at this point. Because I gave them some free publicity on this radio station, and this fucker is popular. We get tons of people with their emails and their calls, and we love it, and we like to answer them. That's why we give you the number, 800-421-5308, or if in Arizona, 602-288-6794. I get in line, and who's in front of me? But some fucker with a USA Today. He got the last one. He got the last USA Today, and I got nothing. All right, I'm going to go to break right now. Feel free to give me a call. I gave you the numbers. Give me a call. I'm going to go out, have a smoke. I'll be right back. This is Patrick Adam on Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.
You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures. Wave Pictures. You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.
He's live. He's uncensored. And he's on the level.
He's Patrick Adam.
The Patrick Adam Show on Wavelength.
Welcome back to the Patrick Adam Show here at Wavelength Radio by Cool Wave Pictures. CoolWaveRadio@gmail.com. Give us a call, 800-421-5308 if you're in an Arizona area. 602-288-6794. I have to talk about this shit that I was just watching on TV. I was sitting with my program director's lovely wife, Leah, and we were watching Scott Baio is 45 and he's single. Now, I read a few weeks back in the USA Today about how they were having these reality shows from these clowns that used to do TV. As you know, Scott Baio was of the Joni and Chachi fame of Happy Days and the Joni and Chachi show, and formerly Charles in charge of our days and our nights. You know that one chick from Charles in Charge? What was her name? The blonde? The hot one? She actually did like a soft porn with the Feldmans, and also the Feldmans have a show coming out called We Live Together. We're not talented, we never really were, but we know that everybody sits around and doesn't do anything, so we're going to have a reality show. Anyways, I don't understand how this guy has money, Scott Baio. He drives a Mercedes SUV. He lives in a house in the Hollywood Hills. Okay, now, how does he own his house, and how does he drive a Mercedes in Hollywood Hills? Where does he make his money? I haven't seen this guy for like a fortnight and odd days. That's a long time in Renaissance terms. Now, let me know what you think. 800-421-5308, 602-288-6794. The 602 numbers for you listeners in Arizona. I was perplexed when I saw this because what he does is he hires like a relationship therapist, and he goes and he rehashes his life and finds out why these women left. Why at 20 years old didn't he commit? I'll tell you why he didn't commit when he was 20 years old. Because he was making money. He lived in LA. He was probably doing a lot of cocaine, and he had chicks with big fake boobies throwing themselves at him every single night. You and me all day. Do you hear me, soldier? Now, I don't know those of you out there who could resist that. I could because I'm a pussy. All right? If a Playmate bunny came up to me with big fake boobs and said, hey, let's get down, I'd probably piss my pants. You know? When it comes to that department, I'm not the sharpest of tools. I mean, let me know what you think. 800-421-5308, 602-288-6794 with Patrick Adam. But I was watching this show. First of all credit to Scott Baio. The guy doesn't look like he's 45 years old. He doesn't. You know, he looks approximately, what do you think, Leah? 35 years old, Leah says. This guy looks like he's 35. Pretty good looking. But, I mean, I don't particularly understand what this show's about. If you have a Mercedes SUV and you live in the Hollywood Hills and camera crews are following you around every day trying to figure out why you're not married, I think there's your answer right there. Lose LA, lose the camera crews, lose the SUV, and learn to appreciate things a little bit more, and maybe you won't be single. 800-421-5308. If you're in the Arizona area, 602-288-6794. You're online with Patrick Adam here at Cool Wave Pictures. We got a caller. Yes, who am I speaking with here? This is Patrick Adam. Thanks for calling in.
Patrick, nice to talk to you. This is Jeff calling from Glendale.
Jeff, how's it going? What's on your mind tonight?
Oh, first of all, I'd like to say I like your show a lot. You're live, you're uncut, and you're on the level. That's what I like about you, bro. You know what? Why don't you say fuck right now? I'll get there.
Okay, go ahead.
I think you should give Scott Baio props because he's dated a lot of hot chicks, man, and he's got all this money and a nice house now because he saved up his money. You know, he's a childhood star. You got to give him some respect. He did his work. He's using his money wisely.
That I totally agree with you. I'm not denying the fact that he has had all those things, but my idea is maybe that's his problem. Maybe if we have all these things, you know, the whores, you know, the cars, the diamond rings, the bling bling, you know, maybe that's why he can't find what it is apparently he's looking for. I personally think it's a scam. I personally don't think the guy's looking for anything. I think he's perfectly happy. He hangs out with that guy from the Wonder Years, Fred Savage's brother. Your thoughts, Jeff?
Well, I mean, you're mad at him for all the wrong reasons. I mean, I'm mad at him. I mean, I like the guy, but I'm mad at him because he gave me pink eye. Okay, but that's the only reason I'm really holding anything.
Wait a second. Okay, Jeff from Phoenix, Glendale. Sorry, Scott Baio gave you pink eye. Scott Baio gave you pink eye? Jeff.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Okay.
I don't like to talk about it.
Okay. So you're not going to tell me?
You guys are Cool Wave Pictures hiring because I'm stuck in a dead-end job myself and could use a little help.
Hey, you actually think I'm getting paid for this right now?
You're not getting paid for that? I mean, I'll sweep your floor. I'll do anything.
I'm gonna have to talk to the program director about if we need somebody sweeping. So why don't you give us a topic right now? Why don't we get off the Scott Baio thing? What's on your mind? Anything in particular?
No, not too much, man. I'm a little baked right now and not thinking about too much.
Hey, have you messed around with the PS3 yet? Because I got a PS3.
No, dude, Xbox 360 rules. PS3 is old news.
You know they actually ruled at G4 this year. They picked up 14 awards to PlayStation's 9. Your thoughts?
I don't even know what you're talking about. What a G4 is, you know what I mean?
No,
you're speaking all this high-tech mumbo-jumbo. I didn't call it the Blu-ray show, okay? I thought I called it the Pat Adams show.
No, you called the Pat Adams show, and my whole thing is I'm not really angry with Scott. Nicole Eggert, that's her name. That's the chick who did the soft porn with the Feldmans. Did you see that?
Nicole Eggert was nice.
Jeff, you there?
No, you lost him.
We lost you, Jeff. I want to give Jeff a shout out. Thanks for calling the Patrick Adams Show here at Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures. Give us a holler. 1-800-421-5308, 602-288-6794. I'm going to leave the phones open. I'm going to take a break. I need to get another beer, but I'm going to be right right back with you here on the Patrick Adams Show. Oh, that was chunky from Cool Wave Pictures.
You're listening to Wavelength Radio. You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.
He's live. He's uncensored. And he's on the level.
He's Patrick Adam.
The Patrick Adams Show on Wavelength Radio.
Is there a way we can get a topless hand job in here? I'm really oh shit, I'm back. Holy shit, I'm back, and I'm live. And I'm Patrick Adam from Wavelength Radio here at Cool Wave Pictures. 1-800-421-5308, 602-288-6794. The 602 number is if you're in the Arizona area, and you could, I'd like to give a shout out right now to listeners. We're going to give a shout out to Baby Cakes, Ange, Des, and Mike the filmmaker. Thank you guys for listening tonight. If you are, feel free to give me a call, 800-421-5308, 602-288-6794. That's if you're in the Arizona area, that's 602 number. On a more serious note, there's been a lot of tragedy that struck in the past week here in the Arizona area. Now, I don't know if we were going to talk about this at Roundtable, but I'm going to talk about it now because I need to kill another 30 minutes, so hold on one second. Apparently, there was a chase in Arizona, and two news stations were following this chase from News Channel 3 and News Channel 15. And apparently they collided, killing both crews. All right. That's a cameraman and a pilot in each chopper, helping police chase...
Hello.
Yeah, who's online?
This is Patel Sack.
Who? Patrick Sack?
Patel Sack. I was calling to talk to... Well, I called a minute ago and...
Patel.
Patel, yes, Patel.
Okay, what's going on, Patel?
Well, the fellow that answered the phone said that I want to talk on the air with Patrick Adam, and I would like very much to do that.
You're on live with Patrick Adam, Patel Sack. What can I do for you?
Oh, can I hear myself listening on as you're talking? Can I hear myself on...
No, turn your radio down or it's going to fuck you up. What's going on tonight?
Well, the reason I'm calling is because it cannot be true, I don't think. But did I hear you say something about the QuikTrip a little while ago?
Oh yeah, the QuikTrip. Yeah, did you?
Yes, it was. Okay, good. That's what my wife said. She said you have to come listen to this because that's what it's a QuikTrip. I too am fortunate enough to be employed by the QuikTrip, and I work at the QuikTrip. I don't know if it's the same one that you go to though. I am in Mesa. Oh, do you go to the QuikTrip in Mesa?
No, but I've gone to a bunch of QuikTrips, and let me tell you, Patel, they really dropped the ball this week.
Oh, well, my QuikTrip is always fastidiously clean, but that's really not the reason that I called. I don't think this is probably true, but I wanted to ask, are you by any chance, your voice sounds so much like it, I am a really, really big fan of movies. I and my wife go to movies every week, but mostly I'm a very, very big fan of movies that are the independent nature. Are you the same Patrick Adams that's in the independent films? Do you do independent films?
Yeah, I just wrapped a short film, what hasn't been seen. So maybe if you have seen me in a short film, there's only been one screening of it. It's called The 11th Aggression.
Yes, that is it. That is the one that I was talking about. I could not believe it is. You are the fellow who played one of the policemen
Yes, I played Detective Davidson.
I saw you on a film festival in. It wasn't in Phoenix. In Peoria.
Peoria.
Right? Yes.
Yes. No,
talk to you.
that is the only place we actually showed the film at this time. Right now, it's in. We're trying to fix the bugs in it, and apparently, we're hoping to get a video release on it. What did you think of the film?
That's what I was going to ask. Will it be released? Will we be able to see it?
I am sure with the quality of it and the direction that it's headed that it will be released direct to video.
That is such good news. My wife and I will be glad to see it. I wanted to ask you about it. I'm so glad to be talking to you. It's really good. I wanted to ask you, there was, how did you get into character so well with being the policeman in the movie?
That is a great question. You know what makes it easy is if you're part of something that everybody that you're working with believes in and puts their heart and soul into. And that's what was great about 11th Aggression. From the director, Charles Peterson, to the star of the film, Landon Riethaber, to my love interest, Amy Searcy, to the killer in the film, Steve Furdy. Everybody kind of had the same goal in mind, and that was to just portray each character as well as they could, and really bring something special to the screen. As far as getting into the character, anger's not an issue for me. It's pretty easy for me to get angry. Your thoughts, Patel?
Oh, I think I think it came across very well. It was the chemistry on the film. I know it had some problems, some technical issues, because I remember seeing it. But the movie itself seemed to be very, very good. I think the chemistry was so strong. And did you have any problems with the love scenes with the ladies?
I have no problems with love scenes with any ladies. In fact, that's probably a big part of the reason why I'm getting into acting. I really like those scenes. They're my favorite type of scenes because it gives you a chance to really grab some breasts and really just take things by control and really just kind of give, because I'm not like that in real life. I don't take my wife and fuck her up against the door, if you will. And I'm sorry I'm going to be vulgar with you, Patel, but that's just not how I do things.
It is okay, but it's just very interesting for me to hear that. It's really very, very, very interesting. It really is. I did want to ask you too. In the movie, I remember some of the scenes themselves, and I have to ask you, how was it working with the fellow who was the main character, the senior policeman? He had, because I think I am very good at looking at movies, and he had such strong screen presence. How was it working with someone like that?
Patel?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, are you there? Yes, are you there?
Patel, are you there?
Yes.
Patel? Patel, hey, thanks for your call. I think we lost you. That was Patel. What was his last name? Patel. And we give you... Patel from Mesa, thanks for calling into the Patrick Adams Show. 1-800-421-5308. If you're in Arizona, 602-288-6794. I really thank the call. I'm really surprised that somebody from the Peoria Film Festival called in. That's pretty crazy. What I'm going to do right now is I got to take a piss and go to a break. When I come back, I want to continue talking about what I started talking about before we got the wonderful call from Patel. Thanks, Patel, for calling into the Patrick Adams Show. This is the Patrick Adams Show. I'm live, Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures. Come.
You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures. Pictures. You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.
He's live. He's uncensored. And he's on the level.
He's Patrick Adam.
The Patrick Adam Show on Wavelength Radio.
Welcome back to the Patrick Adam Show here from Wavelength Radio by Cool Wave Pictures, at Cool Wave Pictures, from Cool Wave Pictures. Speaking of Patel that we got caught off, I heard he called back during the break. I'm closing off the phone lines for the moment. But I just finished and this may be of interest to Patel, a short film called Win, Lose, or Draw, directed by Charles Peterson and Jose Rosete, starring Jose Rosete and myself. And it's in post-production right now, and it really looks fabulous. And if Patel's a fan of Cool Wave Pictures and Indebted Pictures, and would like really their new cutting edge stuff, because there was a lot of things I think that came through very clearly in this. I saw the cut, which is amazing because actors never really get to see the cut. But it's called Win, Lose, or Draw, and you can check out the trailer at www.coolwavepictures.com. Just click on Win, Lose, or Draw. You're able to view the trailer. And we hope to have it out in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And we're going to be doing festivals, maybe doing the festival circuits. With it. We're looking forward to that. What I was talking about before Patel called was the accident that happened between two local helicopter news crews, and also the police officer who was shot point blank range while attempting to arrest somebody for trying to cash a check for $470. Apparently, he was going to go and handcuff the guy, and then as he had one hand handcuffing him, the dude pulled out his gun and shot this dude 3 times in the head and killed him. No, that was Pat Tillman. He shot him once in the head and once in the shoulder and killed him. And as I'm sitting there the other day, and I'm talking to my parents about it, and I actually said to my parents, and I was deadpan serious when I said this. I said, okay, why any of these people? First of all, the news cameramen and the helicopter pilots. All right, every picture I've seen for the last 2 weeks, and this is strictly in Arizona. This is hit close to home, so it's a lot of it's in the newspapers, and a lot of it is on TV. Why on earth would these people be taken out of everybody in the world? I said to my folks, I said, every picture I saw these guys in, they were smiling, they had their cameras in their hands, they were in their helicopters, they were giving the thumbs up. I mean, these people probably couldn't have been happier doing what they do for a living, okay? Take me, for example. Take me. Why take these guys? These people are happy. I mean, I'm semi-happy. And I didn't know these people personally, but, I mean, shit, they were in a lot of pictures together. A lot of people who cared about them, a lot of people loved them. I'm not saying I don't have people who care about me, and I'm not saying I don't have people who love me. But let's face it, most days at work, I'm miserable all day. I come very close to just telling people to just stick it in their ass pretty much all the time, audibly. Most of the times they can hear me, but they're too chicken shit to say, "What did you just say to me?" Because they know I'll come at them. you know? And then the police officer who was shot. Here's a gentleman who had 2 children, 2 infant children, and a wife. And he was shot in the head. And I know, hey, he's a police officer. That comes with the territory, yada, 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 ra-pa-ta-ta, ra-pa-ta-ta. But he had 2 young sons who now have to live without their father. And a wife, nonetheless, who has to live without her husband. And I didn't understand. And I still don't understand. And there's a lot of people out there who say, well, God, wanted him to go be an angel. God wanted them as angels, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying right now? If fucking God was smart, which, day after day, he seems to be proving to me that he's not a very intelligent guy, especially if he's like this sentient being who's like all-knowing and all-feeling. Why doesn't he take some fucking ass clowns and teach them a thing or two and leave the intelligent people a chance... A chance to teach us a thing or two, because not for nothing, like, I think that these people could teach me a little more about courage and a little more about understanding and a little more about life than I actually know. Hi, you're on the phone with Patrick Adam. Who is this?
This is Jessica.
Jessica, how are you doing? Where are you calling from? Glendale, you're live with Patrick Adam. What can I do for you tonight?
I was just curious. You're talking about Officer Cortez, I believe his name is.
Thank you for shooting that name out.
Now, was he shot by... I'm a little confused. Did the girlfriend shoot him, or did the man he was arresting shoot him?
Apparently, he was all set to make the arrest. And... The gentleman who was trying to cash the stolen check, he had one hand of his behind his back, and apparently he must not have searched the guy for weapons, because with the other hand he just pulled out his own weapon. The gentleman in question had a weapon and shot him in the head. Just turned around and just pulled the trigger. And apparently the check cashing place got it on tape. That's why they're seeking the death penalty.
Now, do you think if he had a partner with him, he would still be alive?
That's the thing. I've been on ride-alongs with police officers, even on traffic stops, and like, say they punch their information into the computer and find out they're driving on a suspended license. The police officer will ask them to step out of the car, and they'll ask them to step towards the front of the police car and say, could you just do me a favor, hold up your hands, pull up your shirt, see if you have any weapons on you. Could it have been avoided if he had a partner? I think that it may have, because he would have had somebody else in his corner. That being said, I know a police officer who makes, now this is take home, I know for a fact, who makes $2,100 take home per month to be a police officer. And I think it's about funding and staffing. Now, could he have if he had a partner, who knows? I mean, because who knows what if this guy was on anything? I mean, he could have been on something. I mean, it baffles me mentally how somebody can get to that point, to just make that decision to do that, to just take somebody's life.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please speak.
There's just been a lot, said in the last few days about that. If he had a partner, maybe he'd still be here, but you never know. We might have lost 2 officers.
How do you feel about if he did have a partner?
I don't really know. Like I said, we might have lost 2 if there would have been another there. So you really don't know. But
It's just a tragic situation, and with the 5 people this past week that we've lost that are close to us, because I mean I watch local news, I mean I watch Fox 10, but it when it hits close to home like that, the first thing I think about is the families that have to go on without these people who have touched their lives in a positive way, and those children that have to go on with their father being 2 years old.
Awful.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and thank you for the call, Jessica. Is there anything else you'd like to say tonight?
No, that's all.
Hey, thank you for your call. I appreciate you calling to the Patrick Adams Show tonight. This is Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures. I'm going to go ahead and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice little song, give you guys a song, and I'm going to come back with my blog spot. This one this week is it's special to me, so I hope you guys stay on the line and listen to it. You're listening to the Patrick Adams Show here from Wavelength Radio.
You're listening to Wavelength Radio. You're listening to Wavelength Radio. You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.
He's live. He's uncensored. And he's on the level.
He's Patrick Adam.
The Patrick Adams Show on Wavelength Radio.
Welcome back to the Patrick Adams Show here at Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures. Just want to give you guys a heads up. Coming up after the Patrick Adams Show, it's Roundtable. I'm going to sit down with Charles Peterson and Cameron Cooper, and it might get trick nasty in here. At least all 3 of us will get to talk about some current events. I don't know what's going on. It's a new segment. It's actually a new show. We're going to go ahead and give it a launch. To see what happens. So if you're in the mood, why don't you grab a brew or a glass of scotch or a bong, Glenfiddich, any Glen will do, and come hang out with us, because shit, man, we just like to listen to ourselves talk. First, I want to thank all for listening. I really appreciate the support and care I get from friends and family members and other callers, such as Patel. Right now I'm going to do the blog spot from Patrick Adams. This is kind of where I just hit up my MySpace page, and I like to blog on there. I haven't blogged a lot in the past week, but I had the heart to blog today, and what I do is I'm going to read my blog and say goodnight. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. No use in breaking tradition. Thanks again for everyone calling in tonight to Wavelength Radio here from Cool Wave Pictures. This blog's entitled "Grease is the Word, Bitch." Right before I went to New York City in 2001, I made a wonderful group of friends in a show I did. And most of you have heard of it, this show. Not what I did, but the show. Unless you reside under rocks. It's Grease. And wouldn't you know it, I was the main title role made famous by John Travolta, Danny Zuko. The experience was special, and even to this day, 6 years later, we remain close and get together a few times a year to just talk shit and hang out. Most recently on Monday night, one of the cast members was moving away. Guess where? New York City. I had mixed feelings about attending the soiree, mainly because I have a very sensitive heart about New York City. I always think back with awe and love for this wonderful city. I hope to one day return to live many years, but I left. Don't get me wrong, I was happy for Maggie, who was in Greece, that was moving to New York City. She's this gal's such a sweetheart, and I truly wish her all the best. But I miss it so much. Now when I got to the get-together, the first thing I did was take a piss. Now, I'm not talking about a little baby piss. I'm talking about a manly man's piss. A piss that makes it sound like I have a monster cock, a mammoth dick, a gargantuan schlong. That kind of piss that almost feels like I just blew my load. Anyways, excuse me. When I exited the crapper, I said my hellos, gave hugs, and caught up. I then found myself several times throughout the night trying to justify to all these people why I left New York City. I felt like I had to explain myself to every last one of those people. It was funny because as I went on and on, I got the same reaction, when you're talking to somebody. Couple of head nods in agreement, a smile or two. But I also noticed something troubling. The look of indifference. You know the look. The one that says, I'm listening but not hearing, a.k.a. white man can't jump. I started to realize something throughout the course of the night. They didn't care why I came back. And it wasn't a they didn't care because they didn't care. It was a they didn't care because they love me and are glad that I am back. This tormenting sense of regret that I have been pummeling my heart and soul with for the last 2.5 years of my life. I'm lucky to be alive. That's when I realized that true relationships, the most meaningful ones, aren't about accomplishment or fame or fortune. If they're based on that, then they aren't relationships at all. The really meaningful ones are based on truly wonderful experiences that you share with others, like I did with Greece. It was funny because we watched a VHS recording of the show. I remember when I did the show, I thought I was the shit. Looking back on it, I wasn't that good. I had a lot of pitch problems in my voice. My acting was very subpar. Maybe when I went to NYC, I was on my high horse, coming off a lead in a community theater play. Thought I could go get discovered in a sea of 3 million actors. Didn't happen. What I did get was solid training. That makes me feel as if now I can truly act. I feel as if I can truly stand toe-to-toe with anyone. But I'm not stupid enough to think I can't learn anymore. That I have a lot to do. Now all I have to do is get over myself. And once I do that, forget about it. It's a wrap. I'll be all over the fucking place. Any kind of magazine, any kind of TV show, any kind of actor studio, any kind of movie that you can think of. But it's not going to be this loud, obnoxious ass clown you're listening to now. It's going to be a man who has learned a hell of a lot about making his actions speak louder than his words, rather than letting his mouth get him into trouble. I'd like to thank everybody for listening tonight. This is the Patrick Adams Show here on Wavelength Radio by Cool Wave Pictures. Tune in next week, hopefully. I don't know. It's getting pretty troubling. But next up, we're gonna have Roundtable with Charles Peterson and Cameron Cooper and myself. Thanks again for listening. Have a good night, ladies.
I'm guessing all the time. I can see the road from the
You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.